Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Quinn McCord.
And I'm Amy Walter. Well, we are nearing recess in D.C. They came back for a short time, soon to be leaving. But on the campaign trail, we have a lot of White House 12 contenders who are busy little bees. Today, Quinn and I, Q&A, we'll do some Q&A about which candidates have had the best summer thus far in boosting the presidential prospects. Quinn, we're going to look at the following candidates. There are obviously a lot of people in the mix. But right now, let's look at Sarah Palin, Bobby Jindal, Mitt Romney, and the Teapot, Tim Pawlenty. Of those four, who do you think has had the best summer?
I think there's no question the answer to this. You know, sometimes I'm wishy-washy. I'm not wishy-washy in this.
Wow.
Clearly Bobby Jindal. Because in my opinion, all that really matters is sort of the public persona you have.
Okay.
And, you know, sort of the leadership, the sort of, you know, hard work on the ground, stuff that Jindal has done in Louisiana with the oil spill. That's all that matters. All this sort of low-level stuff, I mean, that...
About fundraising or about getting on, making videos about grizzly bears.
I just don't think that matters as much.
Yeah, no, I agree. And if the election is going to be a referendum on competence, getting things done, you want to be somebody like Bobby Jindal who can point to something. I think you know what? I'm going to go along with you. I think that's totally correct.
I've convinced you. You weren't going to say that.
I was going to start with Sarah Palin simply because she has gotten more press attention than anybody else if we're measuring it purely on those sorts of hits. And she's obviously making a lot more money than Bobby Jindal, at least we think so.
Yes.
But fundamentally, I still don't believe that she's going to run for President of the United States of America. I don't know if Jindal does either, but Jindal has a better chance of being picked as VP than Palin has of running for president.
Sure, I'll agree with that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, where would you put Romney, Teapot compared to the others?
You know, I think Romney is maybe the next up there, because he is fueling so much money to so many candidates, you know, not just sort of at the level we notice much, but in the state legislative candidates, all these people. I mean, he truly has a machine that I think he is just, I mean, it's not that he's had a great month, that he's just sort of plugging away.
Yeah, he's just very methodical.
Yes.
That's the thing that we'll notice about Mitt Romney from now until the election is he's going to go through, he's going to do the right things, he's going to be, you know, putting money into the correct states, setting up the organizations there. And Tim Pawlenty's following that same sort of strategy. He's been in Iowa more than anybody, I think. He is setting up the ground game in Iowa. There was a good piece this week from Tom Beaumont talking about the fact that folks on the ground, Republicans on the ground, seeing Pawlenty's, you know, real efforts there. Good opportunity for him to sort of cement himself. So I think that has been a good, I would say, under the radar. Teapot's had a very good summer.
Yeah, and especially if Jindal doesn't get in, I mean, if Republicans in 2012 are looking for the freshest face, I mean, certainly Pawlenty is fresher compared to Romney or Palin or Gingrich or, you know, any of these people. So,
but Minnesota is having many more problems economically than some of these other places. Jindal's state obviously having real problems. Bobby Jindal can go out and talk about how he was
I mean,
going ahead and
think of the ads. I wonder if anyone's, you know, taking film of all these things that Jindal is doing, putting away in a canister somewhere, because I'm sure he can get lots of good commercials out of this sort of sticking his hands in the tar. I'd like to do that.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can arrange that. All right, Quinn, we now go into our next topic, otherwise known as the bandwagon. Would you like to pick somebody that you are on or off for this week?
These are kind of weak bandwagons, I admit. I mean, I guess, you know, I'm kind of mildly jumping on the Bob Ehrlich bandwagon.
How can you mildly jump on? You're either on the bus or you're off the bus.
Well, here's why. Because we all knew, I mean, despite these polls saying, oh, it's a dead even, we all knew it was going to be a very close race in the end because, let's say, in Maryland, there really aren't that many swing voters, you know? I mean, you have a Democratic base that's here, Republican base that's here, and you have like almost no swing voters. So it's going to be tight in the end. It's just a question of who turns out. But at least with these polls, Ehrlich can fundraise more, saying, look, you know, it's dead even, chance of winning.
Still, it would be notable if O'Malley loses. I mean, even in '94, Paris Glendening, who was a much less skilled candidate, found a way to hold on.
No, I agree with
But
that.
all right, and who are you off of?
Well, again, I'm sort of mildly jumping off the David Vitter bandwagon, only in the sense of, it's funny, we talked about how can Harry Reid win with 45% of the vote because people voting for none of the above. Well, after the filing closed this week in Louisiana, we suddenly realized, like, how many independents there are running, how many, third-party people. Obviously, Vitter is a primary challenge, which I assume he wins. But, the point is that, it's not impossible that, maybe Charlie Melanson gets 45%, and if there's enough conservative splintering.
Split with the independent vote. All right. I'm going to jump off. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump on, not just halfway on, not just hanging on to the bumper. I'm going to jump on to the Meg Whitman bandwagon.
Wow.
I'll say it. I've been very skeptical about her chances here. The lean of the state, the fact that she might just simply oversaturate the media market, that there could be backlash to trying to buy an election. But the more I watch this race go forward, and the Jerry Brown campaign still seems to be struggling for whatever its message is. I still don't quite understand what that is yet. I'm just not seeing it.
Wow.
I'm not seeing it for Jerry Brown. So I'm going to get onto the Meg Whitman bandwagon. Earlier on this very program, I predicted that Boxer would be more likely to lose than
Jerry Brown.
Now, changing my mind now. Yeah,
Brave
I'll say
woman.
it. I am saying it. All right.
Well,
So that was my on and off. So on
okay.
Whitman, off on the Boxer.
Very good,
okay.
good.
So today, off Fiorina or whatever.
I understand.
All right.
Here is our TV ad of the week.
Oh, Patty, we had such high hopes that you were different, one of us. Then you wore your tennis shoes out on our backs. Small business, Washington families, and children. You pushed the largest increase in federal spending ever, raised taxes on small businesses. You cost us jobs.
God, that makes my back hurt just thinking about it. Although, you know what? It might feel good to have somebody step
I
right,
need
because my shoulders are so
massage
tight.
now.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask Patty Murray to come in.
I know.
I think that's good. Listen, I am all for the strategy in this cycle of mocking a candidate's incumbency. And in fact, Patty Murray, who has made that mom in tennis shoes thing basically the staple of her campaigns for years, it's getting a little bit old. That was 1992 when she made the famous mom in tennis shoes campaign statement. Okay, so mocking it's fine. But this seems to me like a little bit over the top. I don't know that, you can see Patty Murray as somebody who's willing to like stomp on people's backs and like little kids. Really?
Maybe.
It's the whole issue of credibility and believability. Can you believe that the tennis shoes have worn out by now? Yes. Do they need to go so far as to jumping on people's backs? I don't know. It would make me, as a voter, a little more skeptical about the message.
Sure. But, my motto is, you live by the tennis shoes, you die by the tennis shoes.
Oh, right. What tennis shoes were you wearing in 1992?
Well, I was in nursery school then, so it's probably like little. Oh no, I'm sorry.
I think that I might have had those Nike pump up once.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was going to change the world. Remember that?
Yeah, I never got those. I was always worried they would deflate if like they got punctured.
Yeah, me
and
too.
And I'd be just standing going,
Right, it would be really depressing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
we are just about out of time for today.
Well, we actually are out of time because we're saying goodbye.
Oh.
But until next time, see you on Hotline TV.